Hello, welcome to the Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 409. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. And this is a Tutor episode where we try to teach you something new. Good morning.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
Rain last night.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just nice this morning.
Yeah, it is.
Nice and wet.
Crisp.
Crisp. Smells like summer.
Mm-hmm. I'd say more spring.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. You know what would be cool?
What's that?
If we lived in the country, we could record this outside.
That would be really cool.
It's like a little, you know what I'm saying?
Like if we did in Scotland.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Because then it would be like quieter.
Mm.
You went for it and you just sit there.
Mm-hmm. Drinking our cup of coffee, getting our sunshine in right away.
Yep.
That sounds really nice.
Just letting you know.
Future. I predict around episode 700 we'll be there.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You heard it here first.
So let's see, that's 300 episodes from now. So that'd be 150 weeks. 3 years.
That's pretty reasonable. That is pretty reasonable.
I mean, I didn't say 700. It could be any of the 700s, which would then give us another year.
Wow. Okay. 3 to 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Seems reasonable.
It does seem very reasonable.
Cool. What's up?
Just trying to get some shit done while baby sleeps for her second nap.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I guess first nap. She usually makes it about 3.5 hours, so we're half hour in already.
Let's hope that remains normal
Mm-hmm.
today.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get some things done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sunday's kind of the day where, like, you're supposed to rest, and it'd be really nice if we could, and we spend all of Sunday trying to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Sounds about right. I mean, it would help if Saturdays we didn't overload with stuff where we can't do household stuff on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Because we always overload Saturday. And then we try to do any of the remaining Saturday stuff Sunday.
That is true.
Plus all of our house chores.
Mm-hmm.
Soon it'll get better. Because right now I'm trying to catch up on all the gardening stuff I didn't do last year. So because I was pregnant, I was just tired all the time. I didn't keep up with weeding my gardens, and now it's really biting me in the ass. So I am weeding the gardens, and it's taking quite a bit of time, which is fine. So once that's done, then I'll be have my 3 hours in the morning throughout the week to do a lot of the things that we try to shove all into Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it will be nice when that's done.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's been taking up my time, too.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be nice to be done.
Yeah, I think. Oh, you just have to rototill the other half of the garden.
Mm-hmm.
We got to rake it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you're done.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting.
Mm-hmm. You gonna be able to plant it in a day?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bet.
Okay. What are we betting?
That you can do it or not.
Wait, am I planting just the garden, or you mean all the flowers too?
I want the garden done.
Okay. Yeah.
All
Done.
the flowers would be nice, but that's seeming unreasonable.
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Yep.
I mean, if you helped me, we could probably do both. But if you want just me, then garden for sure.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I could maybe help.
Anyways, what are we betting?
I don't have a bet. I'm just I don't think you could do it.
Oh, okay. Don't say bet if you're not going to bet something.
It's a bet that I don't think that you could do it. Okay. What's up? What's new? What's going on?
Yeah, that's what I have going on. I've been just gardening a lot. What about you?
Work.
Shaun did get to cross a car off of his wanted car list.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, we talked about that last night. I really like Honda Civic Type R's.
Mm-hmm.
I think they look sick as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pretty torn. That's not true. I was going to buy a Type R. And I was looking, and I didn't realize you can only get them in front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So once I realized you could only get them in front-wheel drive, which is weird to me, because Honda has all-wheel drive platforms.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not figure that out for your performance ride?
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
So I decided when I saw that it was front-wheel drive that I wasn't going to get it because I wanted an all-wheel drive car. Just because if you know anything, all-wheel drive just handles so much better. Type R specs. Let me check the specs on a Type R. So, what's got that much horsepower? Type R specs. Let's do like a earlier version. Let's do like a 22. Okay. So, this is crazy. So, 2 liter, 4-cylinder. It's got 306 horsepower, 295 torque. So, like, essentially what my Evo has.
Oh, okay.
Dude, 22 mpg city, 28 highway, 25 combined. Weird. Anyways, yeah, got a ride in this thing, and it was
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I was expecting to feel like I was in like a nicer Evo because it's essentially 8 years older than my Evo. Or 8 years newer.
Yeah.
8 years newer than my Evo. Should have the same power, but it's front wheel drive. Dude, I'm going to put it this way. The handling didn't feel as good.
And
the speed didn't feel that.
You didn't get to actually drive it.
I didn't
just
get to drive
ride it.
I got to ride it. Things might have been different if I was driving. I might have been able to tell a little different.
Right. We learned something. People drive differently if you learn manual as an adult versus if you learn manual as a teenager.
There's also probably a little thing play into the thing of like, I am reckless. I love risk in that realm.
And the other one was a little nerdier, a little more safer. Follow the rules.
Law-abiding citizen, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different. I enjoy driving hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a little different in that aspect.
Like, you feel comfortable driving recklessly though because you've done it since a teenager.
Dude, 100%.
Right.
100%.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes a difference.
Yeah, for sure. But just from even being in the passenger seat, it didn't feel like it
had a whole lot of power.
Like it had a lot of power. It didn't feel like it handled that good.
Yeah,
you could feel the front wheel drive pulling and not like the all wheel drive like pulling and pushing in one, you know?
Yeah, because like in the Evo, when you step on it, like you fly back.
A little bit, yeah, you do a little bit.
We didn't in this one.
There was a tiny bit where I was like, oh, I felt a little something.
But
that was it.
Yeah. But in the Evo, you're like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I really I love the look. I love the feel, like being in it. It's nice. The like feng shui, the accents, all that shit I'm in. Like how you sit down, kind of bucket lower. I like all that shit. Like the car itself's awesome. Just needs an all-wheel drive platform and some more power.
Yeah, I think we'll keep like the Honda Civic, just a regular one, on our like
maybe
list for a regular car.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
But it's an option for a regular car, not for the performance one though.
Yeah. Even then though, there's so many better cars.
Yeah.
Dude, look. Go ahead.
I like the Honda Civic style though. We've always liked the Honda Civic style.
I know the style's really cool. But when you're thinking about a car, dude, would you rather drive in a Honda Civic or like A Volvo S80.
That's the hatchback one?
No. Volvo S80 is what I used to have.
Oh, that was nice, but I do like having the hatchback.
Okay, the hatchback. Okay, hold on. Let me think a second. Hatchback.
There's the hatchback Volvo, though. The wagon.
Oh, like the old school one or the newer one?
There's a newer one, isn't there?
Yeah, but the old school one's
It's
gangster.
or XC90?
XC90 is it? Yeah. That's like an SUV.
But shorter. It's like a Subaru.
XC60 is what you're thinking of.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
forgot about that one. Okay. Anyways, we're done talking about cars.
So yeah, I was happy to get to go for a ride in one, to be like, okay, yep, I'm very happy with the choice I made.
Mm-hmm. We really should get a design on that car just because it looks like it should be in Tokyo Drift.
Mine?
Mm-hmm. Your Evo?
Like you're saying like decals or something?
Yeah.
That's gay, but we could do that. Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Okay. No one does that anymore.
Decals?
Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Except for the Christmas tree lights car that got pulled over. Yeah, and just businesses.
Yeah, people don't really like do that on their cars anymore, which is interesting because, early 2000s, mid 2000s, that was everywhere.
Yeah. You know that weird like orange pinkish car by the North High School?
Yes.
And they work at
The WRX.
yeah, and they work at the place right next to Affordable.
Yeah.
This is what I saw.
Wait.
Okay.
I think you're thinking of a different car than I am.
But it's a weird like orangey pink, really, really sparkly car.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I saw a Supra, that same color, the other
Supra.
day. A Supra. I had to look it up to make sure it was a Supra.
Like a new Supra?
Newer. Not like the old ones that were in Tokyo Drift or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, newer one.
Okay.
I just had to look it up to make sure that that's what I saw.
Damn.
But yeah, it was that weird like orangey pink, really shiny color.
Fancy.
Mm-hmm. That's something you see too often.
Mm-mm. Who was I just talking to? Who were we just talking to? About resto mods.
Oh, you were talking to someone about it. It wasn't Adam Sorensen?
It was indeed. Yeah. I don't know. I've got this thing. It's like this little tick that's wrong with me. If I buy something and I'm unable to get my money out of it, I start to have issues.
This house is an example.
So, like, I know people who will buy something at, like, close to market value, stick 10, 20 grand into it, whatever, or just stick money into it, house money into it, with zero chance of ever even closely getting it out of it, and they do it just because they like it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I've got such a hard time throwing away money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where, like, there's things I would love to do and have done to vehicles, but I'm like, fuck. If I do that, I'm just going to be throwing away tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Which so many people do.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I don't know why. I mean, in reality, so many people do that with a regular car. They go buy, like we were talking to Dave about the other day, buy a $70,000 pickup.
Mm-hmm.
They drive it for 8 years. As they drive it for 8 years, they sell it at 15.
And they're
20.
like, well, I got to drive it for 8 years, so it was worth the depreciation.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you just spent 50 grand for 8 years. Like, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in that realm, that's a fair point too. That when you buy shit like that, it just goes down so much too.
Yeah. I remember there was, I don't know if it's still true, but like, I remember when you bought new cars, people would say like, oh, as soon as you drive it off the lot, you instantly lose like 10K.
I think it was like 10%, 10 or 20%.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Because some cars back then, remember, were like, back when that saying was a big thing, you could still buy cars for under 20 grand.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. What's your topic? Now that we wasted 15 minutes.
Was that wasting?
I don't know. I guess not.
All right. So our topic today we're going to chat about is building relationships before asking for something. So I've noticed this. Like, we went and met with a new accountant on Friday, like an accountant on Friday. And I sent him our stuff, and I thought that our meeting was going to be revolved around taxes because we already sent him everything.
Yeah.
And it was revolved around getting to know each other.
Yep. Very much so.
And I was like, yes, this makes sense. And I should have just read that a little quicker. You know what I'm saying?
Like during that meeting?
Yeah. Like it was fine. We chatted, hung out, whatever. But I thought we'd like wrap it back into taxes or whatever. And we never did.
No.
And I was like, I get it. And it makes sense because like the individual we're going with wasn't taking new clients.
Right.
It was a referral, and we got in through a referral. And so it dawned on me, like, afterwards, I was like, oh, yeah, we were just building rapport to see if he even wants to take us on. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's so many things like that in life where, like, I've went to things with people and we don't even get to business.
Yeah.
All we do is just hang out and BS the whole time. Remember, I went golfing with someone who wanted to, he was up a little bit, was looking at like selling me a property or something. I can't remember exactly, but I remember like I was going golfing with them and I was like, man, this is going to be awesome. We're going to be able to talk shop for like 18 holes. Not even like at all. It was, we didn't really talk shop at all.
Yeah.
Because all we were doing was talking about life, getting to know each other, hanging out, BS and joking, whatever. And it wasn't until the round was over that we ever even semi-mentioned it, but still made zero progress.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, dude, we are seriously just building relationships.
Just, it's a vetting process.
That's it.
And I think that's like, it's a lot more true, especially with older gentlemen.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure most of them have had like to work with shitty customers or shitty clients. So they're like, I'm going to make sure that I really like this dude before I do anything with him. Because like, especially the tax accountant, because like he's going to have to work with us quite a bit. So it's like, he better make sure that he really does like us.
And it's worth taking us on.
Yep. Our morals align, our views align.
Right.
So.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, we've said it before, like our business is mainly referrals. 85-90% is referrals.
Yes.
The couple of calls that we do get that are not referrals, the one went with a different company because she's like, I don't know much about you. You don't really have much of a presence. So I'm going to go with the name that's more known. And we're like, yeah, that makes sense. And they said too, I think like they asked more questions or something.
They said that they asked they brought up a couple things she hadn't thought of. I was like,
Yeah.
interesting.
Mm-hmm. And that's just like a time thing. Like
For sure.
when you have more
yeah.
time in the business, then you think of other things.
Oh, yeah, that's right. When I go do estimates with Mike, he asks like 1,000 questions, and I'm like, oh, didn't think of those. Yeah. Time in business is huge.
Yeah.
And especially like time in business when you've done it or seen it,
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's a little more difficult, I think, as a salesman without having done the thing. It's for like service base. It's going to be a little more difficult because you're not going to know from running into all this stuff compared to when you've actually done it. You're like, oh, I know this is going to be an issue. Let's make sure we touch on this.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's kind of cool. I do struggle a lot in the realm of like, I want to move fast. A lot of times I'm like, well, fuck, I could just like hurry up and get there. But then I remember and like I start doing that and I'm like, oh, it really fucks up my ability to operate,
Mm-hmm.
my ability to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, let's speed this up. And I'm like, oh man, I'm not able to operate as well by speeding up.
Yeah. And like we've discussed it, like we should be blocking out 2 hours of time every time you go to an estimate.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then it gives you the time to vet the customer even.
Right.
Because the more time you're going to spend with them, the more time you're going to know if they're going to be a huge headache or not.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Mike and I went to one last week. He's like, the lady, walked out for a second. He's like, we need to have a chat after this. And I'm like, yeah, we do. We get, like, she comes back and she's like, whatever, keeps going again. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, you've added 6 things to this project that you never brought up. I was like, what are you expecting this to cost? What's your budget? She's like, I'm not telling you that. You got to tell me first. And I'm just like, I need to know what your mind is because you've added so many things.
Right. Like, I'm not going to waste my time writing you an
100%.
estimate that you're going to be like, oh, I was expecting it to cost half this. And
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I just wasted 4 hours of my time writing you this estimate.
So I sped things up, whatever, at the end there because we were already there for like an hour. So I was like, just whatever. She's like, are we talking like 30 grand? And I chuckled and I was like, no. We're talking like 50 to 60. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah. She's like, that's ridiculous. I can't do that. But I said, that's fine. Like, that is fine. That's why I asked. When you originally wanted me to come out, we were in the 30 realm. With all the shit you added, we're in the 50, 60. She's like, well, I can't do that. We're not doing. I'm like, that's perfect. Thank you for your time. But Mike and I get out of there. And he's like, oh, thank you for saving me. And I'm like, yeah, dude. He's like, what I was going to tell you is, do not take this job. He's like, no matter what happens, this job, don't take it. It is not worth any money you could make. He's like, the amount of time she changed her mind in 1 hour, that will happen when we're on job. He's like, this job will cost you way more than it'll make you no matter the amount.
Yeah. And we're already pretty bad at change orders. So,
oh, man.
If she was already changing that much in an hour.
6 in an hour. Dude, I was like, and so he was like, anytime you start to have customers like that, like she was trying to tell me where I need to get the materials, the type of stuff I need to do, like why can't I tie in here and here, and why can't we do it this way and all this. And Mike's just like, dude, we can't, like, I've worked with people like that ruins business. Like, do not do that. And I'm like, I agree 100%.
So yeah, I mean, like, spending the time with customers to vet them, and then it's just like such a nice like back and forth thing because then they're also vetting you, like
100%. And I'm fine, dude. If a customer doesn't want to work with me, then it's not meant to be.
Right.
That's
and
fine.
how many people are gonna go on Google review and be like, he came out for an estimate and told me it was gonna be way more than I expected, and people are gonna be like, okay, you're dumb.
Yeah, well, I'm fine with that. I learned a little while ago. It's probably I brought this up. I wouldn't bring up price or whatever. And I went on an estimate and I did chatting with her, did the full estimate, sent it over, and it was like 14-15 grand.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady's like, what? This is absurd. I expected 4. And I was like, 4? I was like, I cannot even get close to buying the materials for. I was like, I could buy like half the materials for 4. What are you talking about? Like, you just wasted that much of my time.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit me with, I was expecting 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude. So, and I talked to Mike about it, and Mike's like, no, you got to qualify people while you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would always be like, he would just like probe and get an idea. And then I just started coming out flat out, just being like, what do you have budgeted?
Yeah.
Tell me roughly what you're thinking, and I'll tell you if we're in the same world or not.
We should make a questionnaire for Brooke to ask customers when they call to set up for an estimate.
That's a good idea.
Because then you can have like a general idea of like, okay, we're going to look at a bathroom. They want tile.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they're expecting to spend.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you can see right from the get-go, like, okay, I already know this is going to be a waste of time because they think they can get a full tile bathroom for only $8,000.
Right, but yeah, it's not real.
Right.
And dude, know that one where it was a tile bathroom for $4 grand. And I'm like, I don't even know what we're talking about. Like, because the thing was, it was just a small, like, it was a smaller bathroom, you know? And she wanted, like, whatever. And so I think I was around like 16 grand. And she was like, I was expecting 4. And I was like, this isn't even real life.
Like, you couldn't even get just the regular surround.
That's
for
what
4.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if we didn't even want to do the tile, it would be that. So, anyways, the point of today's topic,
It's kind of about betting.
Still on that. Yep. Is So, and I've noticed this, dude. It is a lot easier to close a deal with an introduction than through cold calling.
Oh yeah.
So, like, would we have gotten to see Dave if I just cold call him and said, hey, blah, blah, blah?
I'm looking for a tax count. No.
It was crazy because when I called the office and I was like, hey, can I speak with Dave? The lady's like, who are you? And I was like, oh, whatever. Referred to from Ba, told me to call him. Oh, gotcha. I'll send you back. So they were immediately, because like my buddy Wes was just like, yeah, like make sure you tell him that like.
Yeah, because then that person is filtering all the calls before they even get to Dave.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's nice.
And so like, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we probably wouldn't have got in.
Yeah.
So I was just like, hey, can I talk to Dave? Like, you're not a client? No.
Yeah.
But then in our, let me see here. Years ago, when we first started doing recon,
mm-hmm.
we reached out to a referral. And we were like, hey, could you come speak? They're like, yep. They ended up not being able to speak. So they're like, sorry, something came up, can't speak. No worries. Do you have a referral for the same type of, same or similar topic?
Mm.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I'll get it over. I'll link you. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, Dan, this is Shaun and AJ. They went boom. And we're like, hey, could you come speak in like 3 days or whatever?
Yeah.
And dude's like, yeah, you guys seem like, yeah, I can do that. Come speaks. Happened again the next year. And then happened again the following year.
Yeah.
And every time it's like we had an in. We had an in with every speaker.
Yeah.
There was a referral base for us to speak to every speaker. Then if they could not do it, we asked them for a referral, which then vetted to the speaker that like, hey, we're legit guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so there's like layers to it as well. And
for sure.
our luck for getting someone to come speak so much higher.
Yeah.
You know, you just from instead of just hitting someone up and being like, you don't know me, would you come speak at my event?
Yeah, I mean, because look at like a lot of like higher up people, the only way you can reach out to them is through Instagram.
That's right.
And now Instagram puts like any messages that are people you don't know.
That's right.
Into their whatever, like the hidden messages.
That's right.
So like I tried hitting up a couple people that we didn't have connections with, and they never saw the messages, never responded, nothing. Yep. And so without those referrals, we couldn't even get in contact with them. It's so hard to get in contact with those people if you don't have a personal connection somehow.
100%. So I had to, it's way, like if you think about the amount of people we've like cold called or sent letters to that we get no's back or don't hear from, compared to if somebody referred us and you call them and you go, so-and-so referred us. Oh, or so-and-so's like, hey, this is Shaun, meet so-and-so, I think he'd be great for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, boom, there, we're in. That the close rate's not even comparable.
No, it's not.
You're talking like 80% compared to
10.
1.
Yeah.
The thing I had was try to build relationships. Ask others what you can do for them before asking them for anything in return.
Ooh.
That's something that people will, this is something I noticed with Whiskeria big time. When I first got into Whiskeria, I was very cautious on asking the big people for info.
Yeah.
I would kind of like start at the lower level of like people who are just getting going, because that was all I need to know. Or I would just listen to what they're doing and ask a couple questions, because I valued their time and knowledge so much that I was like, I'm going to, slowly build relationships with them before I bombard them with questions and ask them for help and shit, right?
And you don't want to waste their time on like little things.
100%.
Yeah.
And like, Josh and Audrey, we hired them for coaching, because we're like, hey, we like value your time. You bring us great knowledge, so we're going to hire you for coaching. So like looking at all that, right? It's like build relationships before you ask for a lot. Dude, I've had multiple people in Whiskeria just come and bombard me with questions. They'll message me outside of whatever, and they'll be like, just hammer me. And I'm like, come to Whiskeria. Come to Whiskeria. Like, quit blowing me up. Ask people here. Build a relationship with me. Talk to me. Then I'll give you some of these answers. Don't just fucking hit me nonstop with questions when I'm trying to operate.
Right.
When I'm trying to spend time with my family. Do you think someone I've met once or not even met is more important than my business or my family? Kick rocks. Come to Whiskeria. Get to know me for a few months. Talk to people around me. Oh my God, so-and-so so great, Shaun. They're so friendly. They're helpful, whatever. Awesome. Now I'll chat with you. Or like, and not that I won't have a conversation with you. I'll talk to anyone. I'm not going to give you my whole playbook when I don't know you.
You're right.
That is the dumbest shit ever. Do me a favor. Listen to this podcast then. You pretty much get everything I know. Pretty much anything I do, I just vomit it out on here.
Yeah.
So like, if you're wondering about these things, just start fucking listening to my podcast. Don't bother me asking me the shit when if you actually cared about me and valued it, you would do the work.
Yeah. Or like, sometimes you could ask things that I'm just like, you could just Google search this.
100%.
Like, how do you fill out a WB11? You're just like, well, you read through it and you fill in the blanks.
Yep.
And if you are really worried about it, then probably send it to an attorney to be like, hey, can you look this over and make sure I filled it out right? Like, I don't know. There's some things that you don't need to ask a person and waste their time with.
100%. And like, dude, I've seen it so many times. I've tried to explain this to people so many times. they're asking me a bunch of shit about flipping and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, you are a contractor. Why don't you come work for me? Or like, why don't you come do some work for me as a contractor? Not so you don't got to work for me. Why don't you come do some work for me? If things work out and I know we're compatible, then I'll just do deals with you. And I was like, why don't you come first? We'll build a rapport. Then if it works out great, if you start bringing me deals, I'll show you how to do it for free. You just got to put in a little legwork and help me out first. One person took me up on it and fell on their face within a couple weeks. Easy. I've offered a tip. I've offered that same thing probably to 10 people.
Damn. Maybe
more. One person did it, fell on their face in the first couple weeks.
Sounds about right.
Dude, the fuck? Well, I shouldn't say that. 2 people. One person, like I explained, the other one on and off a little bit, but was so adamant on having their own thing. They were just like, I gotta have my, I'm like, you do. You have your own thing. You're just working with me. And they could not handle it.
Yep.
I don't know, dude. The thing that's crazy to me is like, for what we want to do, I don't know anyone in our area doing exactly what we want to do, right?
Right.
But say we lived in Green Bay, I would be like, Jason, you need me to do work for you? Yeah, Shaun, I'm going to need you to do it, but I'm going to need it done at this. Okay.
Done deal.
I'll just like not make my margin on the shit I do from you. And I'm just going to do that. And then after a year doing stuff for you, I'm going to ask to be a part of it. Or I'm going to bring some, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to do something that, because then you have someone you can shadow and see and like whatever.
Yeah.
People don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like of like whatever, we've probably flipped more in our area than like most people.
Yeah.
I only know maybe a couple people who've like flipped more than us. Yeah.
That we know of. Unless
that we
if
know of. No, there's more people.
Yeah.
There's for sure more. But I only know a few. And that was part of the reason we hired Josh and Audrey.
Yeah.
Because they done, a good amount of flips and have a lot of rentals and stuff. And I'm like, yeah. But so like shadow, in a way, but offer value first. You have to offer value before you can get value from them.
And you have to, build that rapport because, like, there are so many people that we know that they're just like, Shaun, we like you. We like what you stand for, so we'll do business with you.
Right.
And it's, like, that's one of the things we talk about all the time. It's, like, having good morals and good standards. And, like, people can see that, and they are just like, yeah, we know what you stand for, and we want to keep working with you. There's people that we've done, like, customers we've done work for, and they really like what our company does and how we do things, and they're just like, we're only going to get work done by you.
Right. Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a fun, neat process of building these relationships, vetting people vetting us, and they keep bringing us work or projects and everything.
Right.
Referrals.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. Last thing here. My favorite thing to do is talk business, talk shop.
Yeah.
Like,
that's all we talk about.
That's like my favorite thing to do. I have to hold my tongue many times to listen to other people's interests. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they may be in business, but it isn't their favorite thing.
Right.
They've got hobbies they like more. Business is just their vehicle,
Their job.
And maybe that will change for me someday. I doubt it, but maybe. You know what? It's possible because my favorite thing in the world used to be lifting, and then I found business, so lifting kind of took a back seat. So I'm sure similarly that will maybe happen with business down the line. Something could take a backseat to that, you know. But anyways, you may, if you like want to talk about business and you're out golfing or out for a cigar or drinks or something with someone else who's in business, you know, higher up than you or whatever, and you just want to talk business, I'm telling you right now, you might need to shut up. You might just need to listen to them and wait for them to bring it up. And guess what? They might not bring it up. They might just talk about their hobbies and about other shit and bullshit, and you'll tell stories and whatever. And you may not even get to talking business.
Oh, yeah.
Because business isn't their over-encompassing thing. I remember talking to a dude in business, and I thought we would, this is a different time. I thought we would, you know, get down to some nitty-gritty of some stuff. I remember I wanted to talk accounting with him. We didn't even talk about any sort of accounting numbers. We just talked about fishing.
Oh, wow.
And like trips to Canada and shit like that. And it's like, that's what that dude lived for, was his time away from the business to go fishing. And I'm like, whoa, different, you know. Oh, another one, Matt, you know, he talked about, Ryan and I had lunch with Matt. Dude talked about hunting half the damn time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think it's good to do that, because then they think even more as like a friend, not just like an acquaintance.
Right.
So then you can be like, hey, I have some tax questions. Like, when's a good time to like ask you or something? And you can set up probably a time during business hours that they'd be like happy to do that.
100%.
It's just so much easier to be able to go in and ask those questions once you already have like a personal connection.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's happened multiple times. Like when you've gone on estimates, I remember there was one you sat and drank beers and talked about
Tom the man. I think that's who it was, right?
Wasn't Kelly one? Kelly, the one that owns or his mom owned the Antler Motel.
Oh.
Kelly?
No.
Steinmetz.
No, not him. No, not that one.
No?
That one was quick. No, you're thinking of the old owner of Ace Hardware.
I don't remember.
Anyways.
I just remember you went for an estimate and you were gone for like 2 hours and you're just like, yeah. I walked through and then he's like, do you want to sit down and have a beer? And then I thought you talked about war or something.
Yeah, that was that guy.
Yeah.
Stud.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And wait, we didn't actually do the work for him then, did we? No. But still, I mean, now like
he hasn't had it done. I could follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he said he wanted to wait or something. But now like he has that personal connection with you.
Right.
So now if you call him up, he's like, Shaun, how are you doing?
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And
yeah, dude's a stud.
Yeah, and he knows you're not just calling for business.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true. True. That is it. That's what I've got for you folks.
Yeah. Make those personal connections before doing business, I think, is the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
All right, gang. Hope that helped. Go build some relationships. We'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.